Okay.
Hi, my name is Zach, and this is my first YouTube video. Today I'm doing an unboxing video on the Mezco 112 Punisher Chinese knockoff that I bought on eBay. Now I know it's an unboxing video and it's already unboxed. That seems kind of silly, but because I've never done a YouTube video before, this is actually my second attempt. So I unboxed the figure already. Sorry about that. I also know that most of these YouTube videos have cool backgrounds. This is my workspace at home. I don't have a cool background for it, so this is what we're going to do. Real quick, I will show you the box that he came in. It's very similar to the Mezco 112 boxes. However, it doesn't come with the outer cardboard sleeve or the protective plastic sleeve that goes over it. However, you do open it up. You've got the comic book art in there. The box came from China, relatively undamaged. That was the only real damage. I did that myself by just tossing the box to the side like I'm about to do. One thing I will say about the seller, and most of the people selling these are all from the same shop, organization. They all ship them the same way. I really do appreciate the fact that they sent it in this nice, very protective styrofoam container. I thought that was a very nice touch. Another nice touch, all the little bits and pieces were taped down in the box. So when I opened the box, I didn't have to worry about them going flying or having them fall around in the shipping and cursing vehemently that I thought I was missing a piece until I found it at the bottom of the box. So if this video ever makes it to Mezco or anybody that has any sway over Mezco, just saying, that was kind of a nice touch. Now, the reason I'm also doing this video is because I noticed a lot of comments on eBay about these figures were fairly negative. I think that's because people bought these expecting the same quality as the Mezco figures. While the Mezco figures are made in China, they're made to much higher quality control standards. I bought this for a kit bash. I've been customizing action figures since the 1980s. I've been collecting the Mezco 112 since they came out. Judge Dredd Cursed Earth Edition was my first version of one of the 112 figures because I love Judge Dredd. I've been reading the comics my entire life. So right out of the box, you'll notice the paint is not as good as on the Mezco figures, okay? And not nearly as good. The guns, nothing. That's not an issue for me. Most of this is going to be repainted anyways. As I said, it's a kit bash, and they list right in the description that the paint isn't going to be as good. So you're forewarned. Again, not an issue. He comes with all the same accessories. Now, I don't have the basic Frank. I have the Previews Exclusive Edition, and I'm going to be using it to do a few comparisons. So, again, with the weapons, some of the casting isn't as good. That trigger's not fully cast. Not a big issue, guys. There was no issues that I found with this figure, save for one, and I'll address that in a minute, that you can't fix with an X-Acto knife and a little bit of Loctite in about 10 to 15 minutes. And if you want to get one of these for your kid to play with, I wouldn't suggest it for anyone that's younger than about 7, 8 years old, but these are a great alternative. I know I'm not going to spend nearly $100 for an action figure for one of my kids. The bullets in the magazines are painted in, just like the Mezco figures. They're removable. That's great. The only gun I really had an issue with was his sniper rifle. When it came in the box, it was pretty much apart. Wasn't molded properly. Wasn't glued down properly. The magazines didn't fit in. The scope fell off right away. As you can see, I fixed it. I just haven't glued it back together. And that took me about 15 minutes with an X-Acto blade. Comes with all the accessories, the different heads. The ballistic vest works great. The belt works fine. The only real issue, again, you'll see the paint sculpt here, that I found that I can't fix with the X-Acto knife is the strap, retention strap for the knife was molded improperly. It will not lock in place. The knife doesn't go all the way in. Not sure how I'm going to fix that because it was something I wanted to use, but I'll compare it to the actual Mezco version here. As you can see, much better paint on this, crisper. The hole has been molded all the way through. That hasn't. Again, fixable issue. But you can see they look like actual rivets holding on the G10 handles on what appears to be a custom tops knife. Only the best for Frank. I wish I could afford a custom tops knife, but doing what I do for a living, I just don't make that much money. Now, one of the things that you'll notice here, Frank comes with his 1911. The slide reciprocates just like on the the 112 version. However, one of the things that I really like about the Chinese version, even though it may not be as good, you'll notice there's actually a gap there when the slide reciprocates. Okay? I like that because in real life, when you take the magazine out of the pistol, and as an aside, guys, I'm going to get up on a soapbox, and a lot of people doing these videos are calling these things clips. They are not clips, they're magazines. As a former Marine, Deputy Sheriff, and State Licensed Firearms Instructor, I know this may sound silly, but firearm safety starts with your 4 basic safety rules and proper nomenclature. Notice that my finger is straightened off the trigger on the real thing, and it's pointed in a safe direction. When I rack the slide back, you'll see an opening here, just like the opening on the Punisher version. I like that. I know it wasn't intentional, but it's a nice touch. Again, guys, keeping my finger off the trigger, pointed in a safe direction. Not going to shoot anything that I don't want to. And we'll set this little guy off to the side for now and get back to Frank. Again, paint is very inconsistent. I've brought the actual Frank Previews exclusive 112 hands out to illustrate. But I'm going to be repainting this. It's not a big deal to me. Maybe a big deal to some. But again, guys, I believe this one was $45 shipped to my house. Previews exclusive when it came out was about $150. They're selling on the aftermarket for $300-$400 now. You're not going to get that quality, but you're going to get a great figure for a kit bash. One thing I did notice is that the head and the hands are sculpted in a tougher plastic than the original. And again, if it's something you want to get for your kids to play with, that's a very good thing. Okay, they're not going to lose the parts, they're not going to pop off, and they're going to be a lot sturdier. However, when I go to take the head off, the whole neck comes off and it just went down. So that is something to be aware of. Now, again, like I said, not a deal breaker for me because since this is a kit bash, I'm going to be taking this head, resculpting it, repainting it, popping it on. So I'm not going to be swapping out the heads as much. The hands, yeah, those are going to get swapped out more. That's a little bit of a pisser here, but you can get them on and off. You just have to be patient with them. Of course, he's got his grabbing hands. You can reenact all your favorite scenes from Army of Darkness. Frank can get attacked by his own severed hand. And as you can see, again, with that being a harder molded plastic, you just got to work with them a little bit to get them on. Now, I did notice a couple of these, and this may be the same problem with this one, had a little bit of molding issues in the hands. Again, I took an X-Acto blade, fixed it in about 2 seconds, and it went on just fine. You'll also notice that the paint on the head and the molding plastic on the body, it has a little bit more variation and doesn't flow quite as seamlessly as this one. Actually, looking at these two heads, I think this one may be molded a little bit better than the previous exclusive. You'll also notice there's a mold line there, so even with the Mezco ones, you're not getting perfect quality. But for a kit bash, this is perfect. I've noticed, like I said, that the eBay reviews have sometimes been negative. I think that's from people that are buying these expecting Mezco quality for their collection. I'm not collecting this, so it's perfect for me. And if you're doing an action figure customization, I would strongly recommend buying one of these. The figure is sturdy. All the articulation works. It's in all the same places where it's supposed to be. There's plenty of reviews on these figures, so I'm not going to go into all that. You can watch somebody that's been doing this longer and is much better at reviewing than I am. Somebody like The Amazing. Shout out to him. He doesn't know me, but he's the one who I go to for all my action figure review needs. And he does great videos. And he takes good photos. I love his videos. Also, Articulated comic book art. Al Figures. I grew up in the Boston area, Brockton actually, and I lived in Roxbury for a little while. Started looking because I wanted to get back into dial building. I used to do stop motion. Al Figures does great dials. Love his videos. He got me into articulated comic book art, and seeing that there's other people that are still doing these as old as I am really inspired me to get back into it, because it's something I love and I haven't done for a while because I got told to get a real job when I was younger, and it's one of the few times in my life that I've actually listened to somebody. So yeah, great figure for the money. If you want to do a custom Mezco 112, I strongly recommend getting one of these. Can't go wrong with it. Anyway, that's my video. As a quick aside, these two little Figmas that you see in the background, speaking of Chinese knockoffs, I know there's videos of these out there. Most of them are done by artists. I got some of the SH Fig Arts Body Coons do customization on as well. Get back into it. Great figures for that. The Figma ones, not so much. They're not really in scale to anything, and they are, in fact, the stuff that nightmares are made of. And that's a big deal breaker there, too, if you're doing custom figure work. Unless you're going to do cloth clothing, and even then, it's probably going to get caught in it. So I know that'd be a separate video to do, but I just thought I'd bring that up real quick. That's the end of my video. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, complaints, post them. I'll try and read them if anybody actually watches this. I want to thank the people that I've mentioned for inspiring me to do this video. And in the meantime, guys, be safe. Treat other people the way that you would want to be treated. And most importantly, stay hydrated.